YouTube, welcome to another episode of Whoniverse Reviewniverse. This is episode number 13, where I'm going to be reviewing story number 155, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, starring the 7th Doctor, played by Sylvester McCoy, and co-starring Ace, who was the Doctor's companion all the way through the end of the 26th season, the classic show. So, this one, it is a great collection, or a great story, one of my favorite from the 7th Doctor, if not only for nostalgic reasons. I remember this story the most. I've said this in a previous video when I told you I was getting excited about it coming out, and I remember this one from being on PBS here in the States when I was a kid, and I was watching this one, and I don't know why, but this one just stuck in my brain. When I would think of Doctor Who, from the time that it was off the air, 1990, all the way to 2005, when there was no new Doctor Who coming out, I would think of Doctor Who. I would think of parts of this episode. This would be what I would be thinking about. Specifically, episode 2 of this, part 2, where Ace is running through the circus tent. I don't know why, but those parts just stuck in my mind. This is actually, it's a really good story. What happens is the Doctor and Ace are in the TARDIS. They receive sort of an advertisement on board, and it says, "Come to the Psychic Circus." They land on this planet, which is Seganax, and they go toward the tent. They don't, they're looking for this Psychic Circus, asking around where it is. And basically they get there and they find out that there's a very small audience. Why are there only 3 people in the audience? And the 3 people in the audience are unresponsive to them. The Doctor goes and tries to chat it up with them a little bit, and they're just sitting there eating chips. It's a husband and wife. Well, it's supposed to be a husband and wife and their child, and they're completely unresponsive to him. They don't even acknowledge his presence. Then he is pulled into the circus. They shine a spotlight on him after the worst rap you've ever seen in any TV show or movie. They find out that what happens is the people that are selected from the audience, which is anybody but the 3 sitting there, get selected, and they get thrown in a cage, and then they come up with something to do to entertain those 3 people. Once they're done being entertained, if you can't keep them entertained long enough, then you're killed. So it's kind of like a sinister circus instead of a Psychic Circus. Another storyline that's kind of underlying, although it intertwines, it is the same storyline, but there are some people escaping from this place that are part of the circus. There's one in particular named Bellboy who escapes with his girlfriend. They capture him and bring him back, and apparently he's making all these robots, where all these sinister clowns are technically robots, and he has made them all, and they've been using them for evil. There's one in charge of the clowns, and his name is the Chief Clown. It's not really a name, I guess it's just a title, but in everything I've ever seen with the whole spooky clown thing, including It and Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Twisted Metal on the PlayStation, this is the only time I've ever seen a clown that is creepy, really. And it's not really that it's scary, it's just creepy. It's kind of like the makeup's done in a perfect way to make you just feel uneasy. It's completely not asymmetrical, and it's just really weird looking, and it kind of makes you, it's like when you have a bad dream and everything's kind of warped. So anyway, they end up, obviously, they team up with all these people that are also captured to be part of the circus, and they escape. Not before, though, that the Doctor finds out that it's kind of a facade. It's not really what it looks like. I'm not going to go too far into that because I'll let you watch it. There's a very interesting character in this called Mags, who I'm not going to reveal too much about her because she has one of the most awesome parts of the entire storyline. But let me see if I can. That's her right there. I don't know if that looked fuzzy to you. She actually has the voice of Queen Elizabeth on Voyage of the Damned. Same actress. So, just some interesting trivia there. When you compare this DVD to Spirit from Space, which came out to the same day here in the US in Region 1, this one has a lot more extras on it. Yes, it only has one audio commentary track, but it has a lot of people on that audio commentary, including Sophie Aldred, who plays Ace, Jessica Martin, who plays Mags, Christopher Guard, who plays Bellboy, the writer, Stephen Wyatt, script editor, Andrew Cartmel, and the composer, Mark Ayers. It also has a 30-minute making of that is called The Show Must Go On. And this actually shows, apparently this episode had this story had quite a few obstacles in recording it. Little things here and there, and they actually thought it might end up like Shada, where it didn't end up getting finished. It was the end of the season, and they thought this season was only going to have 3 stories and just be canceled. This one be canceled and then start the following season. There's an 11-minute featurette on deleted scenes and extended scenes. A lot of them are little couple seconds and maybe a minute long scenes. Some of them are just outtakes. There's a little 2-minute featurette called Lost in the Darkness. It's about some model effects that got cut out. There's a music video called The Psychic Circus, which is written by Christopher Guard, apparently, who played Bellboy in this story, and it's sung by Christopher Guard, who played Bellboy, Jessica Martin, who played Mags, and T.P. McKenna, who played the Captain. There's a thing called Remembrance Demo, which is just 2 scenes that have a different score by Mark Ayers. There's also a featurette called Tomorrow's Times, which is 14 minutes, and this is really an interesting documentary to watch. It goes over how ruthless the media was on Doctor Who at the time, and it goes over how they had kind of given up. I guess they kind of got sick of Doctor Who. They didn't have any belief in it. Of course, a couple years after it canceled, they had their want again all the way until 2005 when it came back on. And they were just given really horrible reviews to these, and mediocre reviews to stories that actually should have got pretty awesome reviews. The only one that I remember from this featurette that had a decent review was Silver Nemesis, which is a good episode. It's a good story. I'll review that one in the future sometime. But a lot of the reviews are saying how bad of a choice it was to put Doctor Who up against a great show like Coronation Street. Of course, I don't know if that's on in the UK anymore or not, but I've never even heard of it until I started reading History of Doctor Who kind of thing, where I was wondering why it got canceled, and came up a couple times, and other than that, all I know is it's a soap opera. I can care less about it. We also have the normal PDF materials, isolated music, stuff like that, and there's a little 1-minute sketch called Victoria Wood. And what I'm surprised is not on this disc is something going more in depth with the characters. You don't really get any of the special features going in depth with the other characters other than Doctor Who and Ace and the Chief Clown. Everybody else is kind of left out, where you have the Captain, who's this intergalactic explorer. You have the kid that's obsessed with the Psychic Circus, who looks kind of like Harry Potter. You have Mags, who has an epic part in the story, and she looks kind of like if Rufio had a girlfriend that was in the Warriors. There are a lot of other characters in this that they kind of just don't even really brush over. And I'm surprised they're not in the making of. So, overall, this is a great DVD, great story, and I would recommend getting it. Not overly wonderful extras, but there's some good ones on here. And it's a great story. Thanks for watching.